Hello there, welcome to my third league match of season 68. I'm going to be playing yurikamome. Hopefully we play some good Dominion, but we'll see. With the sheep. So low on village. I mean, if you had village, everything else would be here. Populate is not incredible. I mean, a lot of non-actions in the kingdom, but also 4 terminals. So now one of them's a one shot and one of them's displaced. So fuel for that is not completely unreasonable, but doesn't look like either of us have the $5. I guess we both will have, actually. They're gonna get the I said neither. They're gonna get the $5 necro from Weigh the Sheep, which is probably a displace. So I guess you pair that with an alley on the $4 hand. You could also open Cauldron on the $5 hand just to buy the supply. I mean, you can curse pretty effectively here with Cauldron supplies. So you could also just open the Cauldron in order to buy supplies and go to it from that direction, or buy more Cauldrons. The displace is going to give you the displace is going to get you the supplies, but it's not actually set up the best for buying a Cauldron on the reshuffle. I mean, unless you sheep it, I suppose. Obviously the Cauldron isn't cursing yet either, but I mean, if you can get, we'll try it. I mean, this is kind of nice. I probably will save that alley play for next turn, and then just use alley to do double supplies, going hovel to supplies, or something along those lines. Goes for a Wayfarer, interesting. Yeah, I mean, you could get a Wayfarer here, but I kind of like the double supplies. Okay. So we do whiff on the that will also trigger a shuffle here, which is kind of nice. Well, no, it won't. Right. This was a good reshuffle for yurikamome. To find, I mean, you know, it's not crazy in any case, but Okay. You have this. We're gonna start cursing. Fortunately, they're probably... This is just the cycling here is gonna be a little brutal. We need to eat a curse this turn. I mean, it's very likely. I guess it's possible to have whiffed on it, but not super. I wonder if we can get a crypt. I would probably go Cauldron Crypt if I was them. I mean, this next turn isn't guaranteed to be good, but I don't think Populate's very good. C-Chart, if you had a lot of them, would be fine, but it's going to be a little slow to get there. Crypt would be super nice. I mean, a big, like a Crypt play on a turn like this would be incredible. Oh, I guess they do want a curse, so that makes what I said maybe not the buy, though it still could be the buy. You could pass on a curse. So then I guess if you do take the alley, Cauldron versus Crypt is not necessarily super clear. If you want to try, because I mean, if they can find their Necro through alleying, they'll probably have a Wayfarer. Their turns are just quite a bit worse if they don't get this combo. Necro Wayfarer, but you know, you're getting some horses, so it's not like that big of a stretch. I do go for the Crypt, which I do think is pretty good. Again, I am bottom decking a little bit here. It's unfortunate. Like my Wayfarer is not finding the stuff, which is pretty sad. And also doesn't really have any shot of finding it now this next turn. So that's going to be a huge issue. We could C-Chart Alley. It just double C-Chart. Not a thing I'm in love with as a buy particularly. Doesn't do a whole lot. But if we want to curse, it's kind of, we need something. See, this is just brutal. I mean, there's nothing you can do if they're hitting Necro Wayfarer. I mean, it's not, I guess it's not a huge amount of draw, but it is a lab's worth of draw, which is quite a bit for a board like this. There's not a lot you can do against that if it's happening, unfortunately. Maybe this turn they do Cauldron Alley. I mean, they obviously had a little more alleying than me, and I didn't get to play the horses that turn before, so it wasn't, or play the supplies the turn before, so, well, that's not true, I did, I just whiffed. Yeah, I don't know, there wasn't a whole lot necessarily there that's this is fully losing now. You just can't get around on this. Can get a province, I suppose. It's not going to help, but the amount of curses I'm going to eat 2 a turn, possibly 3 next turn. I don't know how far they're going to go on the cauldron stuff, but it wasn't really. And I mean, I could take a crypt there instead of the province, but it's just going to be late. In a way that I don't think is going to work out regardless. I don't really get the Wayfarer vibe, but the C chart doesn't really have stuff it can. Oh yeah, it does. Oh, unbelievable. Again, no Wayfarer for me. I just do populate for the joy of it. I'll just resign. I liked everything they did. I just didn't really have a clear way out of it. This is you can hurt people if they don't get a guardian, though it's a little bit of potentially a little bit of a hard sell to think about whether you want a desperation for it or not. I mean, because they're probably not going to have full guardian protection here at any point. There's nothing to accelerate your build here. Like if you want to have plus buy, you've got to buy 4 aristocrats, or I guess receiver and market, and otherwise like there's just nothing. So taking cultists is fine anyway, because like who cares? They're not worse than the other stuff you're gonna buy. Whether you want to take a curse for them, I'm a little more skeptical of. So people end up with some mix of magpies, some guardians, some cultists, and then some throne, ghost town, whatever. But having to spend 4 buys on aristocrats to get this is a little tough. You couldn't even do tide pools with like this board desperately wants like a workshop kind of thing. Doesn't even necessarily need plus buy just because the throne room and all that. I mean, obviously, if you have a workshop, you gotta swap something out, but I didn't hit this. I would have. I mean, it's okay to get the shuffle trigger, but it would have been probably a little better to get the magpie. I'm not sure. I haven't managed to. I maybe missed a basilica here by quick clicking. I don't know that I did though. I had 1, 2, 3, 4. I did, didn't I? I did miss a basilica, so that's pretty bad. Especially on this particular kingdom. Is not a very good thing to miss. Guess I can get, or no, it changed to buy phase. I was gonna say otherwise magpie hits here could be a basilica, but of course we get double cultist immediately when we whiff guardian. I believe guardian's either not in this shuffle at all or is the last card. It may not be in this shuffle. But I gotta be a little, I thought of the basilica stuff at the very beginning of the game to say, oh, just always play all your treasures, and then I immediately didn't do it. Just right off rip. Which is bad. There's not really a reason not to play all 3. We're not gonna trigger this shuffle. I don't know how that this amount of chaining is just so frustrating to see when there's not necessarily anything specific enabling this, or you know, you're just eating it because that's how the shuffles turned out, more or less. Obviously I can't necessarily talk here about like these. They have cultists, of course, but top of shuffle draw stuff has just been killing me all season, plus stupidity on my part, and it's really making Dominion not that enjoyable to play. Here they have one. Okay, so like this is not that. And they'll probably take a ghost town if they have a guardian, but they don't have a guardian. They may not. I didn't even hear it enough to basilica that. Guess I could have played this first, but nobody's hit a magpie hit, which is crazy given the deck contents, to be honest. I probably should have won the basilica split rather than the other way around, or tied it, I guess, not won it. Apparently I didn't even manage that, but still nobody has hit. Well, I haven't even seen the magpie, so Menagerie is also not crazy here. I'm simply going nowhere. This is okay. I mean, they have 5, but still, this is more of the. These things are top decked, and I'm dying. I'm quickly dying, not slowly. Slowly going nowhere, quickly going nowhere. There we did hit the magpies for whatever that's worth. It's not hitting. I could toss it. The magpies aren't even particularly good. By which I mean they're pretty bad. I'm not sure about what I just did there. As far as a plan. Here come the cultists. I don't know why if they didn't have, maybe they didn't already have 8. I'm not sure about that trigger, but I am going to be able to buy I mean, I'm going to pile out for them essentially. I'm going to lower the magpies and then they'll buy 2 guardians. They're going to have turns to do that in. Their magpies somehow double hit, which is insane, into this. This is actually just an absurd turn. Yurikamome can just buy a guardian here and be fully winning. Because I'm going to pile the magpie. I can't deal with this. I did do some really stupid stuff here, but by the time I was buying the throne rooms, this was lost anyway. But the 2-point basilica isn't making the gap here. Though obviously it was incredibly stupid. I don't even hit a guardian here. I'm gonna have to run. I don't know if I can handle Dominion anymore. I think I'm not built for it. I think I just can't play the game the way I would like to at this present moment. There's not really plus buy. There is some. See, there's quite a bit of trashing and some action gaining. So you can build up here, and I think it's probably worth doing it just to get consistency on the ninja plays / overcoming the ninja plays. You can use wheelwright stuff to get tons of draw. That's not necessarily that hard to do. And then you can curse some, which is probably quite. Actually, cursing here is probably a little weaker. Hitting 5 for long ship probably is pretty good. I have a pretty good shot at here. Nope. Not good enough. You get to keep ninjaing them quite a bit. Though unfortunately they still hit the... I knew this was going to happen. You just knew. Like, what else could it possibly be? Like... and then this... It just... We can't. It just... You just... There's only one thing that was ever going to happen there. And it was unfortunately that. And then they'll well, they don't have a silo, so they're not doing that this turn, but I think we hold here, right? Because we have 5, so we just buy it. We can't attack them. We'll just take another long ship, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, it's not a huge deal, but it sure does suck. Say it's not a huge deal. It's... I think I would like a second ninja just for goading. I mean, again, and it gives you some optionality. Let's draw another one. Yeah. You just... I'm gonna lose my mind. Otherwise, the draws have been good, but they're gonna be painful in the end. As long as we can trigger, I think we should keep this. This will probably end up being like a snake witch buy, but getting to sacrifice estates would also actually be pretty good here just because of the point gap. Point gap. What does that mean? Just because points are a little more, you know, they're a little more valuable here. So, do we trash an estate? We're gonna draw 7 of these and then we'll have a silo. So we're pretty much guaranteed to get back around. Can scheme the scheme. This is probably a wheelwright for them. I don't know. It's not totally clear. You almost want just another long ship before going for that, just to have something. It gives you like a target for it. But I guess the order, well, but you would probably, yeah. This is a similar situation. If we find the silver, we can kind of keep doing this. The advantage of the wheelwright initially is probably you can get snake wishes. I sure would have loved to see I'm just gonna fail. I'm just gonna whiff on the other thing. Yeah, just whiff a long ship now. I mean, that's not that surprising. It's super unfortunate. It's not that surprising. I mean, it's not really surprising at all. We do one of these, right? There's 3. I don't know how this works. I think it's that there are 2 face down and 1 ninja, so I think we can play this. And it'll be okay, but that's true, actually. We could cycle a little bit and still just... There's some upsides, potential upsides. I'm so mad. I'm so mad that this just... It's not even weird, but... I mean, it's not even like lucky, I guess is what I mean, but... It is just brutal in some ways. I'm surprised they didn't take a 5 gain, but... Like, I would have at least considered it. Considered doing the wheelwright on something, but... The curses, they're good. I mean, yeah, we'll just redraw the curses. I mean the coppers. We won't find that. Okay, I get lucky. See, if you complain before you draw, then you know things are better. Slightly. I'm not loving my wheelwright at the time I took it now, but just a little hindsight. It's actually hard to find the card to use the wheelwright on. Obviously, the estate snake witch thing is fine. Way the goat with it is pretty okay too, so that's not unreasonable, but okay. We could just take it. Not real likely to get to 5 in any capacity, so we could just take the long ship gain this way. And the trash and the snake by. Probably all we can really hope to do anyway. And then we're looking at some invoice stuff probably. We want to scheme. We could scheme one of the long ships, I suppose. That second, I was gonna say that surely they're taking it, but they have the second silver, so. All right. So. I don't know what the last card is. Have I tossed the silver? No. The silver's down in here, I suppose. We could check it also, but. So then I guess you're looking for invoice in some capacity. Oh, that's the wrong. I meant to go to it. I meant to go to it and then play the snake. Whatever. That's all not correct. We can go for a double 5 though. The thing that Envoy doesn't play particularly nice with is the ninjas. To be honest. You probably still want some, but why is this longship getting... It stacked them, but it's actually not one I can scheme. Anyway. So that was not how I wanted to play that, and I could have got basically the same thing playing it correctly. I think maybe we wouldn't have had the 4-buy, but it would have been quite similar. This may be a sacrifice for them, we'll see. We're still in this, for whatever it's worth. You could probably argue that we're even the half turn ahead. So this is the problem with... Though we can just triple longship this turn and it doesn't matter. Like, this is in theory the problem with the Envoy is you're gonna drop towards the end. The triple longship turns, though, you can do a little bit more. You just only have 3 terminal plays, so on the 2 longship play turns, so that's the... I guess the issue. But still, if you do one Shadowed Ninja and you play Envoy and then you're just using the other ninja for fuel or just whatever, I think it's still worth it. It's still pretty good. I'll try to remember to do this the way I want to do it this time, which is like so. Probably toss silver. I don't know. It's not... It's actually not super important. Okay, so we'd like to gain a highway, and probably we'd like to weigh the goat trash. I would have liked to draw the... we can do it 2 ways. I mean, if all we're getting eventually is like a snake witch, then... Okay, well, we bottom deck the curse, which is unfortunate. But perhaps unsurprising. Because we're eating these at a unfortunate rate. Can easily see a 3 pile over time. Slow moving, but certainly can get there. Yeah. I could have double highwayed my turn as well, but actually, well, not quite as easily, not in the same fashion, but what did I end up playing? Yeah. Well, it is done, so. We're gonna draw in like the snake witches. The snake witches are gonna whiff in some insane manner. Because this is gonna draw a curse, or this is gonna draw a copper when I play this snake witch, and I'm gonna lose my mind. I can trash. I'm gonna start missing snake witches on curses in hand, and I'm gonna super lose my mind. There's the trash. There's 2 cards here. I think it's curse and copper. If it's curse, yeah. If we draw the curse, it would have been okay, but it wasn't curse even. It was snake witch. Okay. Well, good to know. So we could do just go ahead and do this. So they don't have a snake witch now. Could have probably... I probably had enough overdraw to do the double wheelwright. To get the wheelwright and still get a highway. I'm not sure though. One of the highways didn't really draw anything. I mean, I had a cantrip still in hand there, but... I guess I have trashed quite a bit more hoppers. And I don't have that second silver. It's kind of nice at this point. And they don't have the well, do this, I guess. They don't have the envoy. Certainly doing some things for me. I don't know why they do have an envoy. I guess this doesn't matter hugely. Or it's unlikely to, but okay. Yeah, that's how that goes. And now this, we draw copper. Hey. Cool. So we could envoy. It's gonna toss the long ship. Though there's something to be said for maybe doing some other stuff as well. We could try to find the other long ship, I suppose. I was gonna think about the second wheelwright, but I'm not sure. The provinces are guaranteed. The province buy is guaranteed if I do that. I could go for draw versus doing this. I kind of like trashing the curse though, but maybe it's not correct. I don't know how guaranteed the province buy is if I don't do that, have that threat for a discard. It was guaranteed the way I did it. I didn't know that. I mean, I didn't track it, but you couldn't prevent me from seeing enough money in that instance. Okay. I'm the only one with Snake Witch at the moment. I have an estate. Just not terrible. Sacrifice is not terrible either, even for outs on just villaging it. There are actions you could sack. You could lose a scheme at some point. You could lose a wheelwright. You could lose a highway if it's going to unlock some other thing for it. I don't know. It still could have been maybe the scheme there. This wheelwright angle, of course, is a angle to try and get more snake witches. They're still a little tricky to activate, actually. Or to activate multiples anyway. Especially once you have a couple provinces. There are all ways to do it, but nothing is guaranteed. I don't think I have much incentive to get more highways. Yurikamome also first player, which makes this all somewhat more difficult. The ninja attack itself is also getting to be a little bit less important. I think this is guaranteed verse. We're fortunately also starting to run out of curses that can be gained, so we didn't find it. I was saying, I guess these have to be snake witches. I don't know how. They haven't shuffled. Maybe they go for a sacrifice now. I think they probably have another I mean, I think they can trigger the shuffle. But surprised they go for a Snake Witch. Okay. So I can even give out one curse in province. I think it's over. Maybe not exactly. They still have a curse. If they hit all of them, it gets harder to do the Snake Witch activation. At least a little bit. I don't think I can pile out, but or even a sacrifice estate trash plus a province is maybe similar. I think they have all the Snake Witches right now. And of course they only got 2 long ships down, so nothing they're necessarily wanting to do is free action wise. They have 2 silvers also, right? So they have some Snake Witch conflicts. There's maybe a world, except that I need the draw, there's maybe a world where you don't even want to play the As we do the envoy now. We probably want to play the ninja for draw. I guess the order usually matter. Maybe that's wrong. Maybe you want the wheelwright in there first. Or want the wheelwright gain in there first. We can't. They have to give the 3 curses, trash a curse, and buy province. They have to do all of those things to make it work. I can't curse this turn. There's maybe a way to do it if I put in the Snake Witch sooner. But not this way. I mean, I could discard, but there's a problem. I mean, you just aren't guaranteed to get around it. Also, I could draw the province anyway. Duchy isn't a great line. Duchy just does. Duchy still loses to like wheelwright piling that stuff. I think we just have to hope they don't draw through. I don't think I had a way to end it. That they aren't able to do the Snake Witch stuff specifically. I don't know how likely or unlikely it is. I'll just be sad if it happens, but it could happen. They can get 7, or it would be like getting 9 points. They have to trash the curse too. Yeah. They have to trash the curse, give 3 curses, and by province. They have to do all of those things. You know, they have the resources to do it. Some sequence stuff, though, it's not free. But if you just off rip do the Snake Witches, then it's not that hard. Not necessarily that hard. But I think I had to do it this way. Unfortunately, they're already quite close to it in various ways. Because they got to do the 2 Snake Witches right off the start and didn't have 2 silvers or province or whatever. I mean, they could have wheelwrighted, but I mean, they also could have, Snake Witch and drawn, highway or wheelwright quite easily. Unfortunately, they did not. They'll probably get there, which sucks. It just really sucks. To play out this game and have it go this way, but well, this is not too hard. This at least does limit their ability to go forward. Okay, so they didn't get it. Thank goodness. So the pile out for me is quite easy. There was a world though. They did, I'll say for this game, they did have maybe a little worse longship bottom decking luck in like the middle parts of the game than I did. Okay. Got on the board. Prepper wants to hop in. Didn't change the server. I don't know which server it put me on. Goodbye, Paulo. I don't know if yurikamome can't, if it won't let them join. Doesn't show them joining. Maybe they said 2 minutes or something somewhere. It would still I don't know which server I'm on. If it's old or new. I assume new when you back out to the main auto match again, but I don't know if they sent a be back later message or something that I missed. Okay, so I don't know what to say. Yurikamome. They could have stepped away. I'm not sure. Not certain. Okay, there they are. This should be my start. Okay. I think I missed game 3, the Kingdom, but here's this again. I have played an awful. People will probably say this is just what I deserve for not having it on my ban list, but I have played an awful lot of cultist games this season. I don't know if Seller helps you build what you want to do here. Surely at some point it would be okay, but Hasty 5-2 I would say is okay, except that the Hasty Stowaway is pretty nice also. And Hideout is pretty nice. I think I'd go with nothing on the Hideout, Hasty, Stowaway is pretty, or if you have the 3 first, or either one, you can take the Hasty Stowaway first and see what you can see. Certainly not unreasonable. I guess Hasty Stowaway isn't that good because it's not it's still turn later. I was sort of thinking, oh, you're gonna get to do it right away, but that's not exactly what's happening there. It's exactly not what's happening there. I really am not 100% on Seller versus nothing. I went with not just because it can be sad, but it can also be quite happy. So that's not really telling the full story. Sadness, my potential sadness. I don't know why I won that last game, or what shuffle let me get the half turn. Because our early game, our entire games were extremely similar. But oh, monkey. Yeah, that's cute. Of course, they reshuffled the Stowaway, which is infuriating. It's not crazy, but it is infuriating. And then they're gonna hit cultist play. Yeah. We've all been there. I know what's gonna happen to me. Stupid game. Something about these, I mean, it's probably just bias, personal bias, you know, but I've been experiencing more generic tilt towards the Dominion experiences. Like, this game is incredibly stupid at times. You just die to, at least they didn't chain, then I would have really cried, but you just die to top deck their junker stuff. Just die to it over and over and over again. You'd think a hideout would be pretty good here at some point, but you'd also be wondering, will I draw that hideout in the middle of a cultist chain, or will I be lucky enough to draw it at the start of my turn with a ruins in hand or whatever? You can, obviously you can do a little better with stowaways helping you in some capacity, but I mean, if I was going to take one, now would be roughly the time to do it, because the curse or the ruin split is more or less determined now already. At least this shuffle isn't going to impact it, I wouldn't expect. Either they're giving me 3 or 2 or whatever. I could be wrong, but because they're not clicking cultists, so there's a world where I actually could have got a shot at giving a third one or something, a second one, but seems unlikely anyway. Oh, they did right. It was hasty, so they were, yeah, okay, fair enough. I wouldn't have done it that way, but maybe it was good. It worked out. I don't know if they already had this money or if they needed to draw some money here for it to make sense, but in either case, it panned out money-wise. I feel like getting like livery is just so greedy here. Like, what are you buying enough of the 4s of to do anything with? Maybe secret pass. I mean, certainly you could buy another secret or another hideout and a secret passage. You could buy multiple secret passages, but whether it pays off, I don't really know. Okay, so this I mean, certainly there's a stowaway. I don't know. I think the other one is a cultist, but I'm not sure on that. And I'm not sure my reshuffle is necessarily going to reveal that to me. It was not. That part I'm lying about. I do have enough here to do like stowaway by blah, blah, blah. I don't know if we'll see a pile out. Certainly very possible. We already know, right? They didn't do the, yeah, I mean, let's see some cards. I don't know on this buy. I badmouth livery. I love livery. Livery's one of my favorite cards of all time. I'm very close to clicking on it, even though I'm not really sure it's very good. What you'd really probably rather click on is stowaway. There's just a risk of sadness, but that's what stowaway is going to look like here. Possible sadness. Livery is very cute though. Simply irresistible. Just the way it is. Goes for the second hideout, which is maybe a little great. I don't think we need to keep Rune Market. We have Monkey. It's better if you have spare actions to play the Rune Market. You'd rather just play. Also, I apparently have 2 of them, so that's not consideration worth making. And we have lots of runes right now, so for sure you just trash runes. Over copper there. Yeah, we got to do this. This will react for them because they're just so far into the shuffle. It's got to. I mean, it didn't have to be there. It could have been in these cards, but anyway, hopefully they're not getting 2 of them. But I don't know why you wouldn't for sure click one. It's a little confusing to me, but there's always some what's left in deck considerations to make. My Stowaway is bottom decked. I don't know that they're gonna. That part may be a little sad next turn. Would have been very happy if one of these estates was one of my. They must just be gone, because, well, I guess I can't rule it out. But they didn't react. It's me being stupid. Was it that way the whole time, or was it just me being stupid the whole time? Is the last card Stowaway? Or am I just lost on deck? It was probably me being stupid the whole time. Well, they did play Stowaway. Oh, they were already doing 4, so they didn't do it. I guess. Everything is confusing to me. I even have another Rune Market. I'm basically just the guy with Rune Markets in some sense. So I don't know. I guess I trigger this shuffle even though it's a little sad. It's quite sad actually, but I think the last card is Stowaway. Again, we have to take that with a grain of salt. I could Monkey, but I don't want to do that. Okay, it wasn't that. I don't know how the curse split went. Curse split, rune split, same difference. I have Rune Library and a Rune Mine for sure. Or Rune Mark, 2 Rune Markets, Rune Library. If it was 5, that should be all of my runes, but I don't know that it was. It might have been 6-4. I feel like I gave out. What did we eat? I guess we were dying at the beginning. 1, 2, 3. Maybe it was 5-5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it was 5-5. I think I've seen all my ruins. Look at this. If I had 8, I would actually just buy the thing, but I don't. We've bottom decked the hideouts. There's 2 I mean, there's another hideout down here. I was unfortunately not. They have 2 liveries? That's wild. I'd be really sad if they like put together a turn here that That's a pretty good turn. So, unfortunately, maybe not unfortunately, but I think this is how we have to do this. I don't want to do it again, though. We've kind of, I didn't want to, though. I did it. 1, 2, 3. They're going to get to go. This was sad to not get to hide out any of that stuff. I was sad. I didn't really want to I mean, I guess I didn't have to trash the cultists. I could have trashed copper and drawn with cultists. At least one or two times. I think one of the cultist trashes made sense, but I certainly didn't get to the kind of deck comp I was looking for. They're much closer to it. I mean, not that our decks are super wildly different or anything, but they do have 2 liveries for whatever that's worth. And more stowaways. The stowaway stuff is a little hard to keep up, though. Well, it will be soon, though maybe enough of the game for it not to matter all that much. If the game's ending, then who cares if sometimes your stowaways go unplayed? So they just went for it there. We'll play this normal like. I'd rather have the ruin market than anything. This is okay. Or not have the ruin market, rather. It was okay. We have to trash estate to get. We really do need to buy the province. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we gotta do it. I mean, you can. Yeah, you could be greedy, but I don't think it works. Oh boy. We did get a stowaway plate at the start. Or whatever that's worth. So now in these shuffles, though, Yurikamome has these. Also, this was like a livery play without. Without horse gaining. These still are going to be essentially slop. Especially mine. But I don't actually think Yurikamome gets control either, just because the action count just isn't really there. But the plus action. This looks like a promising turn, though you just don't know what everything is that's in there. They may be in a similar spot where they need to trash an estate to get a province. That wouldn't surprise me. I mean, that would kind of be the nature of the undo at this point. It could be copper instead as well. That's not too crazy, but decks are struggling. I just don't know if you ever really get to the promised land, as it were. I hope the stowaways are a liability now. That's my sincere dream and hope for this game, is that we just putter around getting provinces, and the stowaways are dead cards in yurikamome's hands at times. But whether that happens or not, I don't know. It's 2-1 cultist, I think. I trash 2, but have bought 4, and yurikamome's trash 2, but only had 3, so. I do have a hideout down in here. And I think at least 1 stowaway, maybe 2. Probably some silvers. The silver count is not terribly low. I'm not sure what the thought is over here. If it's like whether they want to start on duchies or not, if that's the question, but I mean, you're not like double cultisting, that's just asking to lose. You could be considering between secret passage and hideout, I guess. If you have like 12. Could be thinking about this question was whether you want to do monkey stowaway or naturally. So what we really need is turtle. I don't think I have a province out down in here, so it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to go for that. It is like stowaway, hideout, you know, some other crud, but duchy also now just doesn't do a whole lot for me. I didn't have to reveal that was a cultist, but it's not a huge amount of information in any case. This does not look very well. This is, what else could it look like, right? There's not. I can't talk about this like there was some kind of play where it was crazy good, a crazy good hand. You could have a cultist, that would help a little, but and obviously I'd rather trash a ruins than whatever treasure I'm gonna end up trashing, but it wasn't like a thing that could happen. We probably pile duchies. If I had to guess, though, maybe it's just provinces, or maybe yurikamome gets enough money here to feel confident of doing the cultists. It's a little risky, but you could go for it. See, now the draw is just gonna have to start getting soaked up a bit there. Well, this is just getting uglier and uglier by the minute. I think that was the right choice there. Don't know. I do fortunately have some threat. Okay, so like province, duchy, 1, 2, 3, 6. This could go. This works, right? Or no, that's too much. No, wait. Yeah, that nets 1. This goes to 24, and then no, it doesn't work. God. 2, 6. We're just short 1. Oh my. I mean, they could miss. Right, so the duchy, it's this this estate is a -2 point to me. So I'd go to 24 and then a 33 is just not enough. And it wasn't in hand without trying the hideout. We'd have to draw silver cultist or, yeah, basically that's it. I mean, nothing else would have helped. Or if, I mean, this estate being something else would have helped more. But once we saw the first part of the hand, let's double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. But we got to trash something. Trash this. We go down 2 points to 24. We score 9 points, which ties. We're first player that loses. Blah, 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 blah. Sadness ensues. Guess we could have checked. Or wait. Guess we could check double estate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's just 10. We're short $2 that way. Yeah. This hand is not a province-y hand. They probably have hideout cultist trash or something. I don't know. They could have crud. The issue now is that the duchy pile out is here, so I have to find cultist. Like, that's the only possible thing that would like move the needle. And or now we just have to hope they whiff 5, which is super hard. All right. That was close, but unfortunately didn't swing my way. But fortunately for yurikamome, huh? That's what you have to tell yourself, I guess. So we do have litter for draw, but it'll be a little low econ. You can do big copper buys and then big C trade. That's certainly possible. Actions plus actions, no trouble. Butcher probably pretty good. I guess you go silver scavenger or silver poacher. Both are pretty reasonable. If you have the 5-2, you just butcher nothing. It's probably fairly plausible to take, like I said, you can do litters into merchant guilds that print a lot of coffers pretty easily via some copper churning. I don't know how much of that you necessarily are doing or have time to do, but some amount of it. Even just butchering stuff and like litter butcher in and of itself is going to do quite a bit. Though that's a little low econ. You have to make up for the litter debt in some way, but I don't think the difference between scavenger and poacher here is probably very big at all. Poacher is a bit better for C trade. I'm sure the upsides on scavenger are much higher. But this one at a time. I guess it's just force of habit, but this amount of one at a timing is super pointless. This is not the best driver. Hopefully, we find an estate with the poacher, but it's fine. I mean, you can't complain too much about hitting your 5. I mean, I did it, but I think nothing is better than silver, actually. But you would have loved to be able to buy a mountain village or a poacher here, just to start the sea trades looking a little more juicy. But that's okay. I will take silver. It's got to be better than nothing just because you can buy litters with it. The money stacking has been unfortunate. Could be way worse. At least we're not bottom decking the silvers. I guess that's a lot worse. Now we're bottom decking the butchers, which isn't ideal, but there is something to doing mountain village chains. Oh my goodness. All right. It's okay. Everything's still workable. We get to do a big sea trade on our next turn. Don't really love Poorhouse, but maybe it'll be fine. This will be a massive trade of the sea. Okay, I'll say a nice thing about bottom decking. It does help this angle of playing several mountain villages into a big sea trade. This silver will pay for the sea trade, which is nice. It'll basically be a donate on coppers this turn. Which may give us the half turn. doing a smaller C trade. This is a bit weird. Weird is maybe not the word, but we could go double litter, though I think I would rather play the butcher. Maybe it's wrong, though. I mean, we'll get a shot at playing the butcher if we take the litter. How important is playing the butcher this turn? You get to see a little more. I mean, hopefully we're going to C trade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it's okay. It does give us an out where we, well, okay. Would have been nice to draw the, we gotta count this. We have to pay for the thing. So if we go estate to 4, I mean, we're gonna draw as many coppers as we need to trash regardless, so. We're gonna draw deck, so we might as well do it. As long as we have enough in hand at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have it exact, and then the rest is copper. Well, there is a silver. So it does cost us a trash, I guess, but also that's just leaving an unplayed. Like the value's got to be there. I don't think you kill this silver, though. There's a possibility of that. I don't know if I'm going to have the half turn or not. We could have done it into a poorhouse, I guess. Estate to poorhouse, which wouldn't cost us coffers. Like, yeah, that could have been done. This is a you can do the poorhouse. You can do the poorhouse litter trick. I did forget about that. I don't know if they actually made real net off doing it, but yeah, I did forget about that. And it's quite good here, so. Okay. So the question is, do I want to I would like to trash all this stuff here. Maybe I'm not the half turn ahead at all. How do I get the poorhouse for this? I guess I gotta make it with butcher, but the other option was to get butcher. Maybe, I don't know if they'll let me or not. They are letting me. I'm gonna go with second. We could just do poorhouse. So we're gonna go down to, we're gonna lose the poacher money. Chester is also not insane. This should have been poorhouse. This should have been poorhouse, and then we don't have to play as many of these. We'd probably be satisfied with this as a trash, because we would trash a couple more coppers. We'd trash 2 more coppers. That's not true. We only had 6 in hand. We already trashed 5, so we could only get 1 more trash period. get more coffers if we go. Well, we can get the same. Do triple. How many? Well, we're gonna have. The issue's gonna be. We're overdrawn by like 2 right now. If we don't buy a litter, it doesn't necessarily work. All that well. But the problem is drawing it. We remove a stop card and add 3 stop cards. We kill the silver, it works okay. If we get poorhouse, if we go silver to poorhouse, we'll have 2 coffers. Poacher will go to 1, poorhouse. Well, if we were gonna do that, we did it in the wrong order. Well, not really. It doesn't matter. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2 buys. 7. It does let you go litter poorhouse, I guess. The other way is just double poorhouse. I don't know about this. That's so like super miscounted. It may have been better to keep this silver that time. The gesture's not crazy. Just gaining like poorhouse with it is maybe a little bit of a bummer. I'm confident that there were better ways to play some of these turns. There just had to have been, but the counting is a little tricky. Not necessarily hard, but there's enough of it to make trouble. I definitely feel like at the very least I could have more coffers than I do right now, but you know. It's a bit of a whatever situation. So I am slightly worried that they get into the good turns just like the turn, you know, the first player ahead of me at this point. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. We're not really taking... Yurikamome did it one turn where they got some slight interaction out of the litter poorhouse thing. Now for us it's just money. I mean, it's not... There's only some little cute interaction if the... if the whatever is there. So last card's Butcher. So we could go Mountain Village into a thing here instead of Poacher. But we've got too many terminals for that to make sense. Okay. We're not going to draw it unless we go Poorhouse into it, which we could do if it makes sense. Though I'm curious to what money that leaves us with, because it would be nice to like buy a litter on top of whatever else is happening here. We could just gain a litter and do the stuff with 3 buys, I guess. Litters cap what you want to do here a little bit, but we could go Poorhouse to Merchant Guild, which then will give us $1 more, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. $8. We'll have 2 coffers. Isn't really enough for a C trade on top of doing whatever other things. I mean, actually it is, but it does leave us potentially losing the litter split in a big way, but maybe that doesn't matter. So we could triple copper C trade, I think, off that angle. Unless I've miscounted here. Certainly possible. It could be Poorhouse, Copper, Copper, C trade also. Those are the same. I just don't think I want the stop card, right? This could die immediately. Maybe I needed a litter instead of that nonsense. It's maybe a bit fancy playish. Which I hate to see. Guess the other question is why not what am I trying to say? It would be really cute if there was like some way to make use of Galleria for this stuff, but I think it's too slow. You can do crazy stuff with Galleria and Merchant Guild in this situation because you can essentially scale up your, like if a buy of a silver nets you 2 buys and nets you 4 coffers or whatever, then across turns that scales, and you just trash the silvers even, but you have to play a lot of terminals before that's doing anything. We have a few outs here. I don't know how good any of them are, but they exist. Mountain Village drawing Mountain Village is an out, and we butcher poacher to litter and go. Mountain Village to litter probably gets us out just by virtue of doing that a little bit later. Or drawing through the normal way. They have a lot more money than me, but not necessarily. I mean, they can do triple litter copper and be fine, or triple litter poorhouse. Probably what they'll do. And they'll get use of their buys and take all the litters, and then I just am dead. I don't think I technically have any threat on like a Merchant Guild poorhouse pile out with that. I don't think I have the draw to threaten that number of gains. I'm probably just lost if that's the buy. And you don't even have to lower the poorhouse. You can just buy a copper. Litter copper is also totally fine. I lost that half turn. I would like to see whether my turns come out a little more cleanly if I do the poorhouse instead, the poorhouse gain on that one turn. But it may just be that we were a little sunk. Yeah, and last turn I could have figured out maybe some ways to do a litter instead, but doesn't go for it. I think they'll win anyway. Those are not the gains I would have done though. I think you could have gained just like unbeatable. They also didn't even empty these, so we do get to keep running a little bit here. Didn't empty anything. That would have hurt my poacher. I don't know. That was a bit surprising to me. I'll admit. I think there was a lockout, more of a lockout that you could take. You don't need the points. So we could get another Merchant Guild. This is all a bit unfortunate as far as the order of the draws. We're going to have a little overdraw here that we can't actually use because it's clumped into the litter. We're going to have a card that we're not getting any value out of at all, which we could have. I mean, it may not even be the play to draw, to be honest. The debt, whatever you do with the butcher may not make up for the debt. I mean, it should pretty easily, but shouldn't be a big deal. Like if we go Merchant Guild, we want to like province litter or something. I mean, what you want to do really is double litter province, I think. I mean, you would like to, if you're going for Merchant Guild, you would like to use the buys. We could double litter province copper. Can we? I mean, I said that out loud, but I'm gonna have threat on like 5. I don't know, yurikamome can do 6 or anything. Or pile out the merchant guilds. You need 7, 8, 9 gains for that. Maybe it's possible. 4 by 6. I think they're short a gain. Really didn't like what they did as far as the lowering the province puts like a clock on the game where I think they were ahead. And it also shifts it to a point where I already have sort of a resource advantage in the sense that I already had 2 butchers. Like they bought a butcher with the province, but it would take 9 because they got to do 4, 4 and get a point somehow. But right now they have 2 butchers and 3 merchant guilds, so 6 gains. They can chain 2 of those. So that's just 8 gains though. They can take 3 provinces or something, 3 or 4 provinces, but actually 4 is not that easy. 3 is probably doable, but so then they have to look elsewhere for gains. I mean, you could try to shift to doing some Galleria stuff and really knock your coffers up. I don't know that I have a very good path to 6 province. 5 should be doable. Well, I say that 5 isn't that doable, but maybe if you squint, I can get there. 2 mills. That's 4 coffers. The litter. Let's say the poorhouses just cancel the litters out. Roughly. Yeah, we probably don't have 5 either. Now 4. 4 is not too bad. They may still have maneuverability here. So they have to kind of get stuff that, you know, lowering. They can lower some things and get single province is probably safe, but that's about it. And they didn't even have the overdraw to really do the really high gain number things either. You could do the C-trade stuff this turn. That's the thing. If I don't have threat on in-game, they can delay. I also didn't need a province now that I'm looking at what happened here. Maybe it was fine, but I didn't have to do it either. I could have more coffers. But yeah, you could do C-trade stuff here to just knock up your coffers some. And then you have better province emptying threat. Still probably not there though, so maybe I can do it too and they won't be able to pile. Piling is quite hard from where we are right now, actually. Even the province stuff is pretty hard because litter does attack your econ a decent amount. Oh man. There's not, I mean, obviously if you can't gain and play gallery at this point is just a waste of time. But you can get 12 coffers or 9. I guess it's only 9 coffers actually because you don't have many buys. The C-trade merchant guild stuff would be much better if we had, you know, like Market Square. We're actually not churning all that much out because we don't have buy. Capital could have helped there a little bit, but like I said, Capital or Gallery could help. It's just resource. We're draw limited. And what is even the point at some level? They are lowering. Is this safe for them? I do need a lot. I guess I only have exact gains. So I guess it's a tie offer, which is pretty reasonable. To make. And it's not even like an easy tie either. Still very expensive. By easy tie, I mean possible. It's not even really a possible tie, is it? Because the expense is just too much. I was thinking any amount of province lowering would be unsafe, but really it was fine. Because I just don't have that kind of output. 15 coffers isn't gonna cut it, unfortunately. I do get to do the trick one time, which is fun. So yeah, like this is the 6 gains, but it's not anywhere near the money needed. Just not even close. And also card, like we would want another card to butcher. So it's sort of completely lost already. I guess they could, the worst dud they could have is just a the absolute worst dud they could have is by province. And the far more likely outcome is two provinces. That is problematic. Okay, I take back. I criticize some of yurikamome's play, but this looks pretty checkmatey to me, and doesn't look out of line of expectations by any stretch. So I think is probably just clean. I have no outs. If this was enough money for the tie, I would take the tie, but it's not, so I won't. We do have enough for the double province, but that's not enough to win. Oh. You're gonna get this one. Again, I think well played. I would like to check the line. I'm not going to because I think it's kind of annoying to do, but oh, I hate this website. I wish it would just be so awesome if having a new expansion come out didn't mean the website got worse and stayed worse for months and months and months and months and months and months. That would be so great. Okay, I won't go on a rant. I probably am going to. It's not a healthy way of dealing with frustration, but wow, this is weird. This is also not a good looking way. Maybe it's the only way to do this layout, but it certainly looks funny. Panic, Campbell, win. Wow. Wow. We almost have the if we had Guild Master, whatever it's called, we'd have Haggler Guild Master stuff probably. Panic is the treasure disappearing one. So eventually, if we do get Tea House, the sack of loot stuff will get blown up. It's probably quite a bit worse than just roping and highwaying, if I had to guess. I don't know what you pair the rope with. That's not crazy. You get potentially two shots at it. It would certainly be worth it if you hit. Especially if you hit the first one, and then but the odds are not super great. Oh, sorry, I need to. Tracer revealed strategy. But that's my fault. I should have hit the thing. There is. We don't have what is it when you may spend? I don't know, maybe there's something with Gamble that lets you do crazy things with the buys. Oh, it's the Gamble like silver. Gamble silver, it doesn't it? Only if Panic's on. Panic does have to be on though. So it's not trivial. We could, we're not hitting 5 here, we could gamble the student. And shoot for 5 here. I wonder if Haggler's worth it to get highway rope stuff. Eventually then you don't get. I mean, 3 highways with the panic thing empties silver, estate, copper. Assuming you have some buys to lead into that. Or can unlock the gold, or 4 unlocks gondola pile too. Actually, gondola probably piles with even just the 2, maybe not. Not sure. This is probably going to be mule for buying Haggler. It wouldn't have to be, but what is Architects Guild though? Sad. Well, we still have the rope. It's okay. I guess if you get the tea house, you're the one who has a little bit of control over when that stuff goes down. That's a potential advantage. The funniest thing in the world would be to make somebody click out the gamble silver pile out. I say funny, it would be funny in concept. It would be so cruel to make them do it. You have to click like 200 times. So you have to generate enough buys to repile the silvers, the coppers in the estate, assuming that wins for you. If you get the 4 highways, it's not quite as annoying. You can't play a haggler either because it kind of mucks with it. I mean, if you have enough money, you can, but the coppers would get in the way. I guess depending on where the money is at, that could maybe unlock golds for you. It could just get in your way though. Guess if the silvers are 0, it doesn't mess with it. So that's not true. Yeah, I guess if enough, it doesn't actually get in the way. Goes for the sack of loot. Interesting. Didn't find rope or haggler. We could get another 5. We could trash a few things. I'm not really sure which of those options is the play. This is like double rope. Guess you're trying to gamble around to the thing. Can you net? I wonder if you can gamble enough. I wonder if you can like tea house gamble enough right off rip to get to the end of it all. Like right on the play. I don't see how. You may not have enough buys, I guess, to do that. I don't think I want a sack of loot. Am I supposed to want a sack of loot? They're getting thin. I remain slightly confused about whether how easily the various things can be unlocked. Also, the tea house stuff, if they've just got 4 provinces, is not all that useful. I mean, it is if you get it in time to empty the I should say if they have 6 highways and 4 provinces, it's not so useful. We could try for Sack of Loot Highway. It's not any worse, like, I guess you just try and gamble through stuff. If you don't find the highway, everything can be a bit sad. What's the last card? Apparently I've decided not to Sack of Loot because it doesn't make sense now, but this is very promising that they're opening by just playing student. That makes me feel great, frankly. Can you do Haggler Sack of Loot gamble stuff and run your way through? That looks possible. There's the Lich. These do reduce your gambling abilities. Killing these things. No, but I guess you're trying to get to deck drawn state also. Okay. I could Lich and Haggler. What how does this game work? Does anybody know? I did not, unfortunately, draw this in a sequence that let me get to 4 here, which would have been really nice. Dun, 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 dun. I feel like I'm just like fully missing something that I shouldn't be, but I don't know exactly what it is. And that is not my favorite feeling in the world. Then Triple Guardian, like do I think there's something that's like pile outy? How does it net buys though? It doesn't. You have to do it. So I don't know. I can't believe that somewhere along the line you were supposed to take a ledge. I can't believe that of myself anyway. Or take a tea house rather as possible. Yeah. Lots of shields. Unfortunate. They're not getting any more. They're not getting more highways this turn. Is good. Are they gonna buy Guardians? I guess you could. If I would get there if I had $3 more, like if that gives me enough gambles to make it work somehow. Via like sack of loot plays on gambles can kind of net. Or gambles on sack of loot plays can kind of net points. Net. I don't know saying that. Does student do anything for me? I mean, it's money in hand, which potentially is useful here. This is crazy. I'm gonna say no on the trashes, though I'm uncertain. It would be this one would be the, or this student would be the one to try. We could get a. I feel like the dollars are useful. We can certainly empty the highways here, which can't be too bad. Maybe we can empty the we could get This feels like it should win. But I really don't know that it does. We could trash a comp. I mean, we could get into the Architects Guild thing, which could be useful. We're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4 buys plus a sort of a 6. We can chain these buys a little bit. We get 2 more highways than the sack of loot stuff. Suddenly improves quite a bit. So not every loot gives plus buy. This is an issue. Probably didn't need to play both the coppers that way. Or I probably didn't need to play this all this way. Unless I'm winning, which that would be cool, but I just don't feel like I know how to do that from here. How many tea houses can I get? Yeah. Wonder if they'll let me take back one of these. Really unsure about all this. I probably should have trashed. I bet there's a win, but I'm not feeling good enough to find it, so. We can obviously buy a bunch of ropes. There's also some gondola trickery you can maybe do with the highways. I bet there's some pile out. I don't know how much of it's guaranteed though versus it requires some gamble order. If all the loots gave plus buy, it would be a different story. But if you hit the other ones, then I guess you still, like doubloons, you still break even. I guess you break even on it. Or net money even. Well, in any case. I didn't do it. Spell Scroll's probably pretty good. I wonder if they have enough to get the tea house done. Well, they don't have that many highways in play. It may not be guaranteed. It may be like a possibility, but not guaranteed. I don't know. Estates would make up the points. Maybe it's possible. I mean, you could whiff the high. Well, not really. But I don't know if the money is there. Also, it's probably the estate is probably what's in hand. That's infuriating. I don't know if it was guaranteed, but it is. I am just not playing the games right. Okay. This is a well-deserved demotion this season. Thank you for watching. I'm going to go look at this one if you want to see, but there's got to be something on that last turn I can do better. I'm also gonna load up and all this. Thanks for watching. If you're leaving though, we'll see what we can find. I didn't actually think we're all that close to the many buys. I wonder how close I was to just doing that. Okay, let's see. I don't know if this is I need to go to should fun be okay. Alright. Whoops, I did not do this at all. Hopefully this wasn't a race game. No. Forgot to add the kingdom thing. All right. So I guess if one of the spell scrolls, if one of these are non-bi, then this doesn't work. But you probably need to go all the way back even to the student choice, to be honest. But I don't know that that's all that important. So what we're looking at for this kind of stuff is basically like trying to see if these kinds of lines get us anywhere. So like now these are as cheap as they need to be, I suppose. So then we're looking at like these kinds of plays. But like, see, we already ran out of cash. So this would have to take a gold to even keep going. Yeah, and it just doesn't run from there. Now, if it's a silver, I guess you got to take a silver. Might run. I mean, that still doesn't run. I mean, I could get another highway, but I don't know what that does for me. I mean, I can get another highway at some point, but just, I don't know what, I mean, sack of loot, I guess sack of loot 0 helps a little bit. It takes away the, it does, well, it does barring chalice, but I mean, we can look at it. This is already though, this point here is already a 50-50, so this wouldn't be a guaranteed line. Do I need the highway? That I don't know. We can check this one. I mean, if we go sack rope here, I mean, the silvers break even. I guess you do silver for a little bit and see how your sack of loot stuff is going is also a possibility. Maybe that's the better line. The staff is something that you could maybe make use of. This line, at least so far, is not shuffle dependent. I mean, besides the loots, which you can't fully discount, but so you still get these. This is like not a yeah, this isn't safe. It doesn't really break even when the sack of loots costs 2 because you have to gamble twice, so it's like a 6 for $4. You lose money this way. We have net quite some buys, but not enough to 3 pile. We could empty these guys. Obviously, there are a lot of lines I could take that don't involve lowering the highways so much that the rope estate pile out is available. That would be, we could leave a highway and then what they did is no longer possible. That would be fine. So this really isn't getting there. We could like have one probably one more buy and one less dollar with like a rope to silver switch. What did I scroll for? The sack of loot. Yeah, it could be. It still is not. And maybe we're generating buys. We're still not breaking into the we're still not really breaking into a world where we still lose money is the issue. You just don't generate money this way. The hagglerings of the silvers and stuff, none of that breaks even. We could be doing gondolas also instead, I suppose. Maybe that pile's there. I don't know how many silvers I gained on that other one. On that other line. That's a possibility. We have to go all the way back here to the first. I kind of forgot about the gondolas, but yeah, the gold doesn't do so much, unfortunately. So now we're just here. The gondolas are just at 3. It's not really netting much. If things cost 1, then you get a little further in this. But it still loses money. Yeah, I mean, you can go down to 0. Then you can pile the sack of loots, but I don't know if you can pile anything else. Or enough else. We can try it. This is going way back now. I mean, you can just do the... Now we know, I mean, we can cheat the RNG a little bit because we know that the highway has this. Normally, we wouldn't even be able to do that. Actually, getting this sack of loot may not even be worth it. I don't know what you would buy instead, though. You lose so much haggler stuff that I would be a little bit... I guess you can take guardians and then you're not missing out that way, I suppose. Alright, we'll try getting the loots down to 0 and then see. In theory, this is like netting us some buy. But it's really tight. It also dies as a it dies at Chalice. Hammer does a little bit though. We are getting close. We may already be there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, we're short 1 because we can still haggle. We are getting close though, so I guess it'll probably work out this line. Yeah, so this is enough now. It does die to Chalice. I think that's the only thing it dies to. Doubloons will give you a little extra money. What are the other weird ones? I think it's all fine. I mean, Hammer is fine and Spell Scroll is fine. It's just Chalice. And if Chalice came like here, you would still probably be okay. So this does work, and this ignores Haggler entirely, which was not my intuition, but was apparently incorrect, which is good to know. You can even do the at some point the tea house thing even unlocks. Like, it's unlocked right now. I wonder how early the tea house thing was unlocked. I think you just need 6 buys. Two highway. I mean, the other bad thing about the way I played this line, I didn't use Haggler, so I didn't cheat. For the gold, are you saying Ghost? We tried Sack of Loot to 1. You can't gain golds. I'm not sure what you're referring to. The tea house line works now. Like, we can just gamble and do this. And you, just buy golds. Well, that's true. At some point you can buy golds. I understand. Yes. That makes sense. But I don't know if it works better than the... oh, I don't know. Wait, we already have panic now. Oh. We don't need this one. So, like, now everything... Now these give buys. So this is the crazy thing that Tracer was alluding to. So this is the sort of supply emptying thing. Which is fun. I don't know how early in this whole sequence it was possible. You don't need that much. Like when we did the highway stuff. So let's say we were here. So we're at 2 buys. So you need 6 buys to make it work. So you have to have some number of... You still have to have some number of successful loot reveals. But after this hammer, it's done. No, you actually need another buy, don't you? Yeah, that's not done. Because you don't have the... Yeah. So it wasn't actually done after the hammer. I don't know how much further we went on the other thing. If we stopped at this works. You need 7 buys because you got to be able to gamble and then buy another thing and then do it again. So we have, and Chalice kills all of these things. So that's not one hundo. There's yeah, the problem is ropes suck. The ropes are really bad for gambling is the issue. So we take the highways here. I mean, you can haggle that, but the haggling, if you haggle something, then right away the first gamble is, maybe it works on either one with some gondola stuff, but like if you're saying sack of loot highway, we can gamble this, but now we're seed dependent. And it may work on both seeds, but I don't really have a way to check it, unfortunately. We also can't play this sack of loot, so that's not so promising. Yeah. I mean, that's true, Iris, but it's so I'm skeptical. There are ways we can mess with it. It's just this, then you draw some other thing. Like what are we doing? At some point, then what are we are we doing the spell scroll into an oasis so we can do this, but now we don't have enough money. I just don't see how you can I don't see the oasis helping in this instance. All right, I'm about tapped out on this. It's clear there were some lines that work. I don't know how many of them are guaranteed. You have to kind of prove that Chalice at a certain point doesn't break it for it to be guaranteed. That one is a little more interesting, I'd say. We haven't tried that, so why not? Let's go ahead and get the puzzle box played first. No, I don't think it's that weird. In fact, I thought about it earlier, but I did forget about it while we've been clicking stuff. I don't think it's weird at all. It obviously multiplies the gains. Quite a lot, so that's really nice. I mean, you can even go further and do a third one, I suppose. The only bad thing about, guess that line. Yes, you can get gondolas then. It still doesn't net money. But they do empty for whatever that's worth. This line also is not safe. Like if we hit this is also, again, it's just the problem is sack of loot costs 1. The gamble to do the sack of loot and the loot, we'll say that the gondolas are just nothing. The sack of loot and the loot costs 4, so that's 5 total. It only makes $4. So you're not, this still dies if you hit the sack of loot here. Your issue is that you can't use Haggler to gain like golds. Yeah, there may be a tea house line. we can check here. So this is after the highway. Actually, we can check tea house. Like if we go this and double tea house and then gamble, play tea. The problem is drawing these sack of loots. If we drew tea house, it wouldn't be so bad. We could gondola it, but we'll try it. We'll see if we get somewhere, because some of this stuff is going to make the money up. But we are pretty close to doing the panic, which is nice. See, this is so this is almost death. This isn't quite death, but it's close. But it's also kind of close to working. So that's nice. This line worked because we can make it through to the tea house stuff at this point. Oh no, we can't buy. I don't know. It may still work. Okay. If this is a treasure, if all these are treasures, then I guess this works. Yeah. This got through. I don't know if it was guaranteed or not. I mean, I guess if we were contingent on the money from any of these, then we would be in trouble if it could have chalice. It probably is chalice vulnerable too. This line does work though. All right. Well, this is kind of fun. We're never going to find through this playthrough unless it was like a trivial province pile out kind of thing or something, like a guaranteed thing once we were gaining loots, or unless we had just like clearly way more money than was required. But gondola does get you quite a bit of flexibility with some of the randomness, at least I would say, because you can draw the tea houses into hand and still play them. But I don't know how sensitive it is overall to what you top deck. Can't tell. Anyway, this is like the infinite pretty cleanly. It had a little extra slack, or maybe not a whole lot, but I guess the only other like really the only thing that maybe is this spell scroll gain. Could have been like a third haggler. And then you're not in such a not such a wild position, because you can do gondola, you can haggle. These. And now we're already quite close to the tea house pile out. Or the tea house thing. This has got to be close. To guaranteed. We only need one more panic. So you can take gondolas here. Or you could take rope even, would be fine. And this here is certainly this line was guaranteed. So okay. So this did rely a little bit on there being, I used a spell scroll, but I don't know if I needed it. So this is cleanly, this is in the panic territory now, so that works. This is actually looking like the most robust thing we've tried so far. The problem is just whether we can maybe logic it out or whatever it's worth. If this is not a spell scroll, let's from here, let's do some. Here I've got an idea. This is a simulated chalice. Sort of. It's worse than chalice, but so that's kind of robust. So we're gonna say the puzzle box is just part of the initial conditions, because it's really where we've been playing from. We're gonna try and get another haggler and then a tea house here. So both of these run. So the question here is whether if you get the tea house flip, does it work? This probably is dead, isn't it? Yeah, this died. Okay, so spell scroll is way of the mule is not enough. Which would have been proof that the line works pretty safely, the triple haggler line. You could mule this thing, I guess. Well, then you don't have enough to even gamble. Yeah. I'm not sure. Well, you could wait. What did I do earlier? I took haggler tea house. I guess you don't take tea house yet. Just take haggler gondola. Yeah. That or double haggler even. The problem is still this money amount at this point in time. I mean, this is fairly close. With 3 in play, 3 times 9. Or 4. I guess I have 4 hagglers now. I guess this line works. No, it's actually $1 short. Because you don't have you'd want a duchy buy to get the rest. I guess it's not $1 short. Yeah, it is $1 short. This may work in some sense. We can do the estate. I mean, it's a losing tie right now. There may have been a... Yeah. I guess to be fair, we'd have another buy. This is robust to spell or to endless chalice, because chalice here would give buy, which would be enough. 2 estates would win. So this line does work if the spell scroll's a chalice, and I'm fairly certain it works if the spell scroll is any other loot as well. I don't know. We didn't I don't think any of this was like top decks dependent, because we drew the sack of loot early on, so that's about as bad as it could be. So this line probably works. Because if you have the $2 extra from like figurehead or something, figurehead is like the next worst thing compared to this. If you had $3 more from figurehead, it would work. This is like the easiest kind of haggler nonsense to do, because this is like a million hagglers. And then this easily piles and gets you a duchy. This is a 4 pile. This is with spell scroll though. Yeah. The haggler is definitely looking like the simplest way to do it. I do wonder a little bit like how this would be a good one to check. Just skip spell scroll entirely. Oh, whoops. And then we get this, and then this is like by far the most free version of this if this just works. and it surely does. You need some ropes, I guess, to get the buyback up, but you have enough money to go through that now. So like this already does it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because you have the 2 estates now. Or you could even maybe buy gold, I don't know. There are some other buys in here that could maybe work, but this is for sure guaranteed 100% after you know you have puzzle box. So you did need the buy, so any 3 with buy. So I guess to be fair, it's still not 100%, but post this sack of loot play, it for sure is. And the gold haggler thing costs 1 buy to do all of that, so like you could have even got more. I'm not gonna post it. Who cares? But anyone else is welcome to. We could have gone another. You could do even another. Haggler cycle. These just cost a buy, but actually net you $1. And an actual kind of cute thing you can do, though that's not guaranteed, You could province and get 1,000,000 golds. We only get one gamble, so the first one has to hit. This is pretty close to just emptying on the highway haggler rope, I guess. I mean, this already wins on province. Yeah. These are all so much easier than the other things. I'm stupid. This has got so much slack. Yeah, I mean, as long as you have a little bit extra well, you do need the golds to be pretty cheap, to be fair. All right. Okay. I gotta be somewhere, but thanks for Iris and Landerval. I forget if there's an R in the middle of it. Yeah, Landerval. Those were helpful comments. I wish I had puzzled it out a little better. I honestly just thought the margins were fine after the province gain, but obviously I lowered piles too much. Yurikamome's thing was not guaranteed, but it did happen, so. All right, well, I'm all but guaranteed to demote this season, but still thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all for my next match. See ya.